Okay, we're live. We're live.
Oh, oh, well, hi. Hello, everybody. This is Casper and Cheryl Stockham. Welcome to the IAM Love Builders Show. We are so glad that you tuned in with us today. And we want to give a great big shout out to all of our broadcast partners. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We are so excited to have you on the show today. I Am Love Builders is a show that's dedicated to all things that deal with relationships and communication. We want your relationship to be strong and healthy, to be thriving and prosperous. Therefore, we want you to be the most valuable partner in your marriage or
Yes,
relationship.
yes.
Here at I Am Love Builders, we believe that if you are not having fun, you are not doing it right.
No doubt about it. And we had some major technical difficulties, but we are pushing forward, pushing ahead. So we're going to skip the normal sponsorship spots, and we're going to move on to bringing up our guests. And they have been patiently waiting. Now, they were on time. We were trying to get connected for the past 15 minutes. So I appreciate you guys. And also, don't disconnect after the show is over. I want to talk to you. All right. So our MVP guests are Wesley and Neesha, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Wesley Neesha Stringfellow. They are
Yep.
pastors, directors of Heart. Okay. Sorry, I had a screen pop up on me. Access your location. No. Had a screen pop up. Heart Life Ministries, their passion lies in helping couples build strong, enduring relationships. And you can find them at
Heart life.
heartlifetoday.com. We're going to pull up their website a little bit later. Hey guys, welcome to the show.
We're just a little
Thanks
flustered
for
here.
having us.
Things just didn't work out.
It's going to be good.
Now.
It's going to be
We're
good.
so excited to have you guys on the show. Thank you so much for being patient and for being on the show with us today. So we will just jump right in. And what we want to first start out with for you all to tell our audience something about yourself. Tell us about your love story, how you got started, and everybody wants to know who
Yes.
you are.
Yes.
Okay. Well, one, we've been married for 36 years.
Oh, wow.
Woohoo!
Nice.
Yes.
We have 4 adult children, all married with
Amen.
Oh, wow.
children.
Amen.
Got
So we have
grandchildren.
grandkids. How many grandkids now?
We have 9.
9.
Nine. Awesome.
I know you can't tell by our youthful look, but yeah.
We can't, and that's honest. We cannot.
But we met actually in college at Chicago State. Circumstances ended us up both at Chicago State because it wasn't the first college that I attended. But I
Mhm.
went there my second year, which is where I met Nisha. And as I was repeating some of my freshman classes, that is how I met Nisha in class.
We both registered late, so there you have it. And then the rest is
Yeah, we
history.
had actually had about 2 or 3 classes together.
Okay.
And I would look at her, and she said she was peeking at me out, out of the corners of her eyes. But I know you women know how to do that real well.
Funny story. I dropped my purse in front of him on an elevator on purpose, hoping he would pick it up. And then another gentleman hurried and picked it up.
Uh-oh.
So by the time I wanted to get off the elevator fast so I wouldn't miss him. And sure enough, it was a clutch purse. So when you know it was upside down, while I'm trying to hurry up and everything fell out all over again.
Oh my goodness.
She missed her window of opportunity that time.
But he picked me up in his brown Camaro on 95th and King Drive in Chicago. And he said I flirted with him and gave him my number. A sweet church girl till Wes came along.
I know. I'm surprised you got in the car with me. But
Anyway.
she let me take her home. And history was written at that moment.
Yes.
Well, awesome. And so, how long did you guys date?
So we dated for a year, almost to date.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Yep.
we got married in September of the following year.
Yep.
Oh, okay. September when?
September 16th, 1988.
We are
Wow.
September 28th.
Also,
Oh, September
Yep.
weddings are in last forever. That's what I say.
Yes, yes, they
They're the
do.
best.
Absolutely.
So tell us some more about this love story. So how did Wesley propose to you?
Mm,
Hmm.
interesting. So y'all want to hear the truth?
So, you want to hear the
Yes.
real story, or
Yes.
you want to hear
The gritty gritty.
a make believe story?
Told
Turn
him
it
how
up.
I was such a sweet girl, and you turned me up.
I didn't turn her out. I did. So she's the oldest granddaughter of her pastor, her grandfather pastor, the oldest
Okay.
daughter of her family, of course, her mom and dad. And she was a church girl, raised, born and bred,
Conceived in the
and all
church.
that good stuff. She wore skirts to college sometimes, most of the
Yeah,
time.
that was a thing.
Um, so at some point, the Lord saw fit to conceive our first child, and we were like, "Well, babe, I was going to marry you." And I know that sounds like a terrible way to ask somebody to marry him, but I was
Yeah,
like, "Well, babe, we were going to get married anyway,
right.
so we might as well just go ahead on and get married."
So some people might call it a shotgun wedding, but it wasn't. We had talked about it. We were young. We were 18. I was 18 on going on 19. Okay,
All
Mhm.
you'll
right.
know. And he can't stay with us say that, but and then 20, he was 20. And we started with a blended family because Wes already had a son. And
Okay.
so we really have always said that God's grace has been on our lives for our marriage, because
Hmm.
truly, we've had challenges, but we haven't had challenges within the foundation of our marriage. We may have
Right.
had
Amen.
financial trial challenges, we may have had some
Hmm.
family
Yep.
challenges, but
Same here.
our foundation of our marriage has remained strong, and that's just the grace of God. We
It
give no
is. It
credit to
is
ourselves.
absolutely, and most people told, even from the church, they said you guys aren't going to make it 5 years. And that was what they were telling us. Of course,
Oh
we had to prove
wow.
them wrong 36 years later
Right.
with
There
the
you go.
ministry.
With the marriage ministry, exactly.
Right. Right. Yeah, we're going to get into the ministry a little bit later. So you said you have 4 children that are grown and married.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. I have a son. He just made 37, 38.
38.
He just made 38. He
Hmm.
lives in Norfolk, Virginia with his wife and 3 kids. They are in the Navy. He's in the
Oh,
All
okay.
Reserve.
right.
His wife is
Yep.
in full time. So they've been traveling around the country, serving in the Navy.
Hmm.
Second girl lives here. Her husband actually just became a Chicago police officer.
Oh,
He's in
wow.
All
the
right.
career. And they have 3 kids as well. Then the middle child, they live in Northwest Indiana, which is it's a stone throw away from Chicago.
Hmm.
Sure.
They have one son, and then my baby girl got married to her husband, and he has a son, and she
Okay.
does
Nice.
not have any biological kids herself yet.
Mhm.
All right.
He has a son
Well,
and a
very
daughter.
good.
Yes.
Yes.
So
Sounds like
yes,
a wonderful family. So you guys are from Chicago. I'm
Yep.
from
absolutely. Chi Town.
Born and
I'm from
raised.
East St. Louis.
Okay,
Okay.
not
Your
too far.
neighbors.
Yes.
So
Yep.
we tell us, we want to know. So you said you didn't have any real challenges, and we can attest to that. Now we've had our challenges and our disagreements. Our biggest challenges have been finance.
Yep.
Hmm.
But even in that, I think that, like you said, it's the grace of God. It's the blessing because so many people,
Mhm.
that is one of the key issues that
Right.
couples break up for is
Right.
finances.
Correct.
It is. It is. That's one of the things that we teach. We don't teach people how to do their finances. You
Hmm.
work that out yourself, but
Hmm.
we teach them whatever you come up with, have unity in it.
Right.
Amen.
Come up with a
Right.
plan together. If my plan is something that you don't like, or her plan is something that I'm not really, don't want to work with, then find that third party plan and agree to that plan and stick to it.
Yeah.
And you have to understand the blessing, because we're both retired now. You have to understand the blessing of working really hard and putting your finances in order while you're young, so that when you get in your 50s, you can
Mhm.
enjoy life.
Right.
That's what we've
Right.
done.
Yeah. Now that doesn't mean that we haven't had our challenges. That's probably
Absolutely.
one of our bumps in our relationship was that we're both spenders. So we have to say
Uh-huh.
one is when I met him, he was a saver, but
Uh-huh.
we're both spenders. But we have learned to be wiser than we were in our previous years. We're not perfect, but
Right.
um, definitely we've overcome many hurdles even bankruptcy at one point to choose to pay for our
Mhm.
kids' college tuition.
Yep.
Mhm.
And, God just really restored everything, and seeds of words that have been spoken over us throughout the years have began to come to pass. And so, but
Mhm.
we work hard. We believe in working hard. Now that is one thing. I've always been self-employed, an entrepreneur, and he just retired from his full-time career job. And so it's been challenging throughout the years, but we've learned, and we continue to be a student as
Amen.
well in our marriage, so that we can
All
make
right.
sure we're still growing, because no matter how much we teach or how much we share, what are we learning along the way? Because there's always
Right.
room for growth.
All right.
Amen.
We're going to take a quick break. You are watching I Am Love Builder Show with Casper and Cheryl. We have our special MVP guests in studio with us, Wesley and Neesha. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back in just a moment.
Texas Coin is the future of money in Texas. Texas Coin is a fast, layer 1 digital currency designed for generations of honest trade. In many ways, Texas Coin is like Bitcoin. It uses blockchain technology, the decentralized public ledger, to record transactions. Texas Coin makes it easy for anyone to participate in the digital economy. Like Bitcoin, Texas Coin can be traded for other cryptocurrencies or cash. But unlike Bitcoin and other leading cryptos, Texas Coin can only be digitally mined in Texas. Join us as we build the world's largest decentralized cryptocurrency mine. Put control of crypto back in the hands of individuals and away from mega corporations, banks, and foreign nations. With Texas Coin, we can leave the world a better place for our children and future generations.
All right, we are back with the I Am Love Builder Show, Casper and Cheryl. We have a special MVP guest in studio with us. We're running a little bit behind on our breaks, but we're going to get caught up and get smoking here. So, okay, so where were we?
We were talking about finances. Now, one of the things that happened to us is that we got married in September,
Mm-hmm.
and I was already transitioning into real estate, and Casper had a corporate job,
Mm-hmm.
and with
3
3 months,
3 months.
he lost his job.
Mm.
Then, so we got married in 2002. So that was 9/11. Was that 9/11?
No, that was
That was after. But
after the.
then my real estate went funny.
Mm-hmm.
And so there we both were sitting there on the sofa. And I was looking at him, and he was looking at me.
Yeah, now what?
Yeah. And so then we were looking at old reruns on TV because we didn't have any money to go anywhere.
Yeah.
And so we were just sitting there looking at each other. But I said, honey, you know what? I don't know how this is going to work out, because he started to get frustrated after a while.
Yeah.
He was having a hard time finding jobs. I got a contract job, I was working temp,
Mm-hmm.
and God blessed, it was a long-term temp assignment. So, but we struggled through that. But through it all, I just knew, I said, God, it's not his fault.
Right.
So it doesn't do me any good to be agitated or irritated with him. This is just something in life that was beyond both of our control that happened.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
And
The one-
she noticed that I was not sitting around on the couch just feeling sorry for myself. I was out every day trying to make it happen, hustling, doing whatever I needed to do to try to change the situation. So
Mm-hmm.
she saw that.
You were
that
going
that
to say,
leads. That's a funny story. I had a family member, and it's funny that you said that, Cass. I had a family member, and he was in between jobs. So while he was waiting for, I don't know what he was waiting for, he would, be at home in his robe. His wife would get up and go to work, and she would come
Yeah.
home, and he'd be in his robe. I was like, dude,
Yeah.
let me tell you something. That's not going to work. So
No.
you got to be moving. I said, I don't
Yeah.
care if you're just out of the house and you don't even know where to go.
Something.
I was like,
Yeah.
don't be in your drawers when she leaves and be in them when
Right.
she gets home. That's not going to
Yeah.
work.
No, I got up every day and washed up, got dressed as if I had a job, right?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I was out there. So
and then when I would come home from work, he would have cleaned the house, dinner would be ready. And so I was like, I can't argue with that.
Not
So
at
we
all.
just learned early on that life happens.
mm-hmm.
That wasn't his fault or my fault.
Yeah.
It was something that it was I believe it was a growing season for us.
Mhm.
I believe that the Lord was working on us. I think He was pruning us,
Mhm.
getting us prepared for what we're doing now and
Yeah.
what our future held for us. We would have missed out on everything if we had been fussing and fighting and angry with each other
Yeah.
because we didn't have work.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. One thing we've learned is like it doesn't matter how tough, difficult times can be when it comes to finances. Even with us, through the difficulties that we've had, we were always good.
Right.
It's like
Right.
if we didn't have any money, then we just didn't have any money together.
Yeah.
If we got to sleep at somebody's house on the couch, then we did that together. There
Yeah.
was
Right.
never ever a thought of separating or getting angry. We were in it
Yes.
together, and
Yeah.
and I think that's what younger couples need to know.
Yep.
But, I'm going to tell you something. I have a theory, and I call it my West theory about finances in marriage. I don't always believe that finances break up marriages, but it's just usually some other factors and issues
Yeah.
surrounding all of that. And then
Yes.
throw in finances, and that's like the straw that broke the camel's back,
Correct.
Right.
and
Yeah.
then when you get to court or wherever, you have to put something down. So you say, oh, irreconcilable differences in finances and things like
Hmm.
that.
Yeah.
If finances was an issue, then I just want to know how come all the rich people in Hollywood and the sports
But
scene
still,
are divorcing because they all have
just
all the money they need.
just recently, all over social media was the billionaire and his HR director,
I
and
saw it.
I'm like, we could have helped them, right?
Yeah,
They
right.
reached out.
But they're gonna need some help now, though.
They're
Both
gonna
of
need
them.
some help now, yeah, But we've even seen couples come back from situations like that. But some of his responses weren't from the heart. They weren't an actual repentant heart. He's like, well, they shouldn't have had a camera on me. I'm like, no, dude, you shouldn't have been, you shouldn't have been out there like that.
Right,
So,
right. Yeah, and he gave an apology. I think he did. You can't
yeah,
really trust everything you read on social media. But I
right.
think he gave an apology out there. He might have even resigned from the position. I
Oh
don't
no,
know.
he resigned now. Yeah,
Okay, so I didn't know if that was um,
Speculations.
all the truth or just some speculations.
hmm
But you can tell that it's just like a canned apology.
Hmm.
Just
that's what I'm saying.
saving face for the company, not
Yeah,
necessarily for himself.
he started out apologizing pretty well, but then at the end, he's like, he was complaining that the spotlight was on him. It was
Right.
like, no, God sees what you're doing anyway, my friend. So the spotlight has been on you.
Mhm.
Facts.
Right. And well, it's out there now. And it's
hmm
everybody else's fault but his.
Yeah, yeah,
And I think that's pretty arrogant that if you're creeping around, you're at a completely open place. Like I said, okay, I guess you really didn't care that much, I
right,
guess.
right.
So tell me, guys, how did you all get into ministry? What led you in the path that led you into becoming
Yeah.
pastors?
Okay, so we are not pastors of a local assembly. Our ministry is an outreach ministry,
All right.
but we are ordained, have been ordained as pastors over Heart Life Ministries,
Okay.
and then also as marriage pastors. Um, the way it started was not to be in the ministry part; it was to say, in about 1996, a lot of our 95, I think 96, a lot of our friends started getting divorced,
Mm,
and
Oh.
we were really I was really affected by it because I mean we were all babies were small together,
right.
going to
Right.
church together, and devastated. So me and Wes was just like, let's get together and have some fun, a fun night, a game
Yeah.
night. And so I made Jamaican dinner. I'm not
Mm.
Jamaican, but that's one of my favorite cuisines. And long story short, to our surprise, 40 some couples showed up to
Wow.
that
Okay.
village hall, and
Hmm.
we played the version of how well do you I mean the newlywed game, how well do you know your mate.
Uh huh.
Hmm.
They had a good meal, and then the following year we decided to go ahead and host a marriage little getaway, and we didn't call
hmm
it a get a retreat, we called it a getaway
Uh huh.
Hmm.
because Wes always said it's your getaway. If you want to come to this getaway with your spouse and you want to just stay in the room all weekend, it's
Yeah.
your getaway. But
Right.
then
Hmm.
also, it was retreats are sometimes are stigmatized, and
Yeah.
they're made to feel stuffy and all those things. So for 26 years, we've been calling it a marriage getaway.
Yeah.
All right.
And but to our surprise, God began to send us couples who were needing help, and so
Yes.
we began to just have them over for dinner and talk to them. Then we became lay counselors at our church and got certified through Prepare and Rich and some other things. And so then we wound up the same way we would counsel each do the lay counseling. We developed a curriculum, and we would do the same thing every single time. And so eventually we wrote our first book, Reboot Your Marriage. We would hold marriage boot camps.
Yeah.
And
Amen.
so everything just started, just it was like year after year, it would just grow, develop. And it became ministry. And
Okay.
we realized, that, hey, we knew God's hand was on our life. We definitely invested in our marriage and went to other marriage retreats
Yeah.
and,
Mm-hmm.
and just came from one just today,
All right.
Amen.
but God has opened doors for us to be able to share our gifting and different things. But, we went to share, but we went to invest in our marriage. So I just say the ministry grew just God's way. And now we are hosting, last year we had 142 couples at our conference.
Wow.
And it was, and I
Okay.
call it a conference because it's past the
Yeah.
getaway when you have
We
that
want
many
to
people.
we want to hear more about that. We have to take a quick break.
Sure.
You're watching I Am Love Builder Show. We'll be right back in just a moment.
Which is my camera?
Right there, all the way down.
Oh, okay. I can talk to him. After all, he's my camera. I can talk to him. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Winning with Love with Casper and Cheryl Stockham. We are here with our wonderful guests.
God has been very graceful. Going back to what you stated, it's that work back.
Yeah. So we weren't arguing with one another, but maybe we needed to be.
Right.
Maybe we needed to be getting uncomfortable.
I'd only been saved 11 months. He's been saved since he was 19.
But at the end of the day, I believe in marriage, and I think that it's really important.
You have been watching Winning with Love with Casper and Cheryl Stockham. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we're back with the I Am Love Builder Show, Casper and Cheryl. And I think people that do what we do, and we all do the same thing, stay busy because just today, Cheryl and I delivered the message at our church.
Oh,
So, and then we rushed home and had a bite to eat, and then we had all these technical difficulties. But we are here in full effect, and we're talking with, I guess he goes by Wes. Now, Wesley is my middle name.
Okay.
So,
I
yeah.
knew I liked you for some reason.
So we have Wes and Neesha, and so you guys sounds like you're
Ministry grew organically.
Yeah,
It
quickly-
started out
quickly,
as one
though.
thing,
yeah
and then God just added to it each time.
yeah
yeah.
that's awesome.
It did. And actually, it took a while for us to accept the titles of pastors because people would call us that. And it's
Yeah.
like, we're not pastors. We don't, titles are titles. They don't really mean that much to us. But the fact that somebody may consider you a pastor, and a lot of our retreats and getaways, that's the closest a lot of these couples have come to church in quite some time.
Right, right.
And some of them, at that moment, they make a new decision in their life. So we kind of accept that. I mean, we're proud of it now.
Absolutely.
So you were saying that you now call it a conference. So
But
tell
we
us.
still call it a getaway. We
Oh,
still
you still call it a getaway?
we still call it a getaway, but I say conference to help people understand the magnitude of where people are going to actually what they won't walk into some little retreat. It's like it's a big retreat. But it still feels
Mhm.
like family. Everybody says this. It feels like a family reunion. And when we do something called first timers, where if it's your first time, you connect, we give them a special session by themselves so that the next year they're connected with that group of people so that they can feel like I'm not coming into this space and not know anyone. So that's been a staple. But one thing about it is that The marriage getaway is great, but we tell people this all the time. If you don't come for anything, me and Wes are gonna get what we came for. And I know we're in worker mode. I know we're in work mode, but we definitely participate. We believe in everybody doing the work.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care if you celebrity status. I don't care. We're all married here. We're all going to do the work. So when it's time
Mm-hmm.
for the next speaker to come up, everybody get your pen and paper. Everybody participates. And that's something that we have definitely branded, because a lot of people do come in and, oh, I'm going to speak and then I'm going to leave. No, we want you to know that if we invite you here, we want you to be a participant as well as a person who's going to provide some wisdom and different things like that, because it makes us feel like family and we're building relationships. And that's what we need to teach in marriage. Build a
Mm-hmm.
relationship with one another. If you
Right.
can't do life together, I will never forget the year we did vision boards. And one of my really good friends, who's a big bishop in one of the denominations I won't mention, but she told me, she said, all the years we've been married, we have never done a vision board.
Hmm.
I was like, wow. And so people are getting experiences that they never have. Some couples don't do devotionals together. It's
Mm-hmm.
just different things that we can pick up that you all may provide. And then you may pick up something that we provide. Iron sharpening iron, as Proverbs tells us. So we want to be intentional about building the relationship more than anything about our marriage conference or all the things. We want to be intentional about the relationship.
Yes. It looks like your next event is coming up in November. Next
Absolutely.
getaway.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
November 6th.
Yep.
That is
And
awesome.
where's that going to be at? Is that in the Chicago area, or are you going somewhere else?
No, we'll be at the Grand Geneva Resort and Spa in Lake Geneva, Wisconsin. It's November 6th through the 9th. We've had it there several times throughout the years, and that's where we will be. It's going to be Thursday night is a worship night because we love to worship, and
Mhm.
is on demand. So we have recording artists, gospel worship artists coming. We have speakers, but we also have so much fun activities. So this year, we've done everything from a 70s theme night to last year a glow up party to we've done so much, and so we try to give the balance. Receive
Amen.
ministry, receive wisdom, receive instruction, but have a blast. And so
Yeah. Yeah.
karaoke,
Come.
we dress alike, couples contest, every activity, painting together, or one year we did a Play-Doh where we had the couples to create a heart because what was the name of our getaway? Bulletproof. So everybody had to bulletproof their heart. So they had to build their own hearts out of Play-Doh. So it's just working together and having fun together. We have a big, huge gala where world renowned infidelity specialists,
Mhm.
Couples Academy, Hassani and Danielle Pettiford from Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
They are coming this year with their Phoenix Awards, where they will be honoring several couples have been nominated. Where they will be honoring couples who have been overcome struggles, married over 10 years, but have overcome. And so that's going to be a big, huge gala on that Saturday evening. We close out with the worship service on Sunday. It's just a great time, and you go to the spa, and you can go in and enjoy yourself too.
Now the cost of the getaway it shows 625. Now, is there additional cost for like hotel and things like that? Or?
Yes. The registration is $625. It includes probably 3 meals. It includes your t-shirts, your activities, your conference fees, and then it also and gifts and trinkets. We give more than what people pay
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
But then also there is an additional fee because people can pick whatever type of room they have. They have a starter room, which is run of the house, all the way to 3 and 4 bedroom suites to villas. So you could choose what you want. They have given us a discounted rate at this resort and spa. So people come they come up from all over. We even met some people on social media and they came family. We call us family. So now you all are our friend family.
Oh, all right.
And they come all the way from Japan, Okinawa, Japan. So
Oh,
people have been
wow.
traveling to the getaway to be able to say, let's embrace, what God has. But it's through the relationship that people show up.
All right. That sounds awesome. Hey, you guys are part of our family too. We
Yes,
miss
yes.
you. So tell us now. I know
Okay, before they tell us, we need to take a quick break.
my husband's he's deaf on these breaks, man. So now we have to take a break.
Okay.
And this is our last break and our last segment coming up. So we also want to get some tips and strategies from you guys because you've been at this for a while, and give our audience something that some meat that they can grab a hold of. So we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back in just a moment.
Hello, everybody. Casper and Cheryl here. And guess what? We won our first year, and we win a Zanti Award. We can't thank you guys enough. We appreciate you. Yes.
So that was a little spot from our TV show, Winning with Love. We actually won the Zanti Awards. It's kind of like the People's Choice Awards
Nice.
for our first season.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So we're heading into season 2, and we have a second show for singles called
nice.
Winning the Single Game. So we got 2 shows that we'll be taping later this year. But so this is the last segment. So give our audience some things that you guys have learned over the years. Maybe you have the 5 steps or the 7 steps or the 3 steps
or something from your book.
Yeah. Oh yeah, something from your book. Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's probably the best way we could kind of pair it up. So this is our book, Reboot Your Marriage, and all the books are available on Amazon. We have 4 of them, but we just finished an anthology project with some other couples who are sharing their journey of Reboot Your Marriage, anthology. But one of the things that we have done, and this is what we're practicing and still continue to practice, right, is we take couples through a strength assessment. Then where we say, hey, what is going on and where are you as an individual, not as a couple, because my me affects our we. And so basically we take them through a strength assessment, just like they would at the gym. You're not going to go in lifting 300 pounds, find out where you are as an individual. Then we go ahead and say, now we know where we are. We can go ahead and do some self-repair. What areas can we repair? What areas? And then spiritual examination, because it is faith-based, Lord, created me a clean heart. Show me where I need to repair. And then now, Lord God, while you're examining me, help me to heal. And that's one of those areas that we really focus in on that second and third session to really go through self-repair and spiritual examination. So now that we're healed in this space, whatever that looks like, now we can walk into communication.
Yes.
And the communication chapter, of course, we definitely still highlight Gary Chapman's 5 love languages of all the love languages. And so that's one of those areas where that into the 3rd week.
Yeah, so communication, we put that kind of 3rd because a lot of times we'll talk to couples and we can't get through to them because it's not a we problem yet.
Right.
You have a me problem.
Yes.
Right.
You have to take care of me first. So, and sometimes we'll send them say, hey, look, you need to go see some professional help, a professional counselor, talk with them, work some things out with yourself. And once you guys are better, or once one of you, or either one of you, sometimes it's both, once you're good, then we can get together and then we can work on the marriage.
Right.
On the marriage, if I'm going through some things that may not have anything to do with my spouse. So that's why when we get to communication, and then we talk about in communication, we talk about effective communication, because a lot of times, first thing you do when you talk to a couple is, hey, what's your issue? And they say, our communication is not good. Well, what does that mean? Communication is a big word. So you talk too much, you're not talking enough. You don't like the way they talk to each other. What does that mean? I need a little more specific. Because a lot of times they'll have issues in other areas and they'll just kind of lump it all into communication. Because you're arguing. Back and forth. So communication isn't always necessarily the issue. But then we'll go through that, different steps of that. We'll learn how to be a safe place.
Yes.
I can feel safe to have a conversation with you. When I know that if I say this, You're not going to dismiss what I'm saying or feeling,
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
or you're not going to try to just fix it and come up with an answer. Oh, you just need to do A, B, and C, and then you'll be okay. So
Yeah.
there's a long chapter, and sometimes we'll stay on that for a while until we work out all those things, and that
Sure.
includes um, reconciling differences when you're arguing and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's even a healthy way that you need to have a disagreement with your spouse.
Right.
Hmm.
Right.
There are some rules that you need to set, especially
Right.
if one is a hothead or if one of you completely shuts down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Because
Right.
you can't communicate like that, and you can't resolve issues.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then go ahead, man.
Then we go into the next time we meet them again, intimacy. So if we're communicating, then our intimacy should be off the charts, and it shouldn't
Right.
just be sexual intimacy only. It should be emotional, spiritual, intellectual, physical, all of the intimacy levels we can. What they that phrase from one of the authors, I can't remember who said it. Sex starts in the kitchen.
Hmm.
It's one of those areas that, hey, where's your intimacy level emotionally and
Yeah.
spiritually and physically,
Mm-hmm.
so we
Mm-hmm.
can talk about intimacy because now we're communicating effectively.
And if,
Yeah.
and if you haven't rectified some of these other issues, there's no need to talk about intimacy because we haven't gotten that far yet.
Right.
Right.
I know you're not intimate. Let's talk about why you're not intimate. Let's talk about where we're hurt, where we need to
Yes.
be healed, what areas need to be forgiven,
Hmm.
what we need to work out. And then once we can kind of get those together, now we can talk about intimacy and the things you need to do. And, maybe I'm not giving you all that you need in your mind. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not speaking her language. I remember one day she came home from work and I had just had an old cabinet that I took down in the basement and I put it up in the laundry room. You would have think I built the Taj Mahal that day because she saw the cabinets and everything organized in the laundry room. I just put a cabinet up and put some stuff in it. But that's her language. She likes acts
Yeah.
of service. She likes to come home and see something new built
Right.
or organized or things like that. So
Yeah.
that worked for her. And that was that level of intimacy that most people won't even understand.
Mm-hmm.
But it
Yeah.
worked for me later on. So
So, and then the last two is financial unity. Like we said, we don't teach people how to do their finances. We don't say we're financial gurus, but we say, hey, how are you unified? Or do you have
Yes.
the same goals? How about you setting some goals together so that you can accomplish them? And then the final thing is investing in your marriage. And the cycle continues to repeat itself because every time we teach a reboot, every time we pass out a book or whatever, we're still rebooting our marriage. So
Right.
Right.
every computer needs a reboot. Every car needs a tune up. Everybody needs a fresh checkup when you go to the doctor. So it's a constant cycle of marriage, a cycle of life. And so that's just one of the things that we've done throughout the years. And we definitely endorse other people and
Mm-hmm.
we encourage other, marriage ministers or marriage gurus.
Mhm.
We definitely don't say we have all the tools, but we use these are the things we do and we apply them to our own marriage as well.
yeah, I
Amen.
Yeah.
think I think this book is great if you want to just have a one-on-one conversation with a couple and follow the
Mhm.
steps. It's
Yeah.
great if you and your wife or your spouse
Mm-hmm.
want to pick the book up and read it because there's spaces in the book where you can write your answers and things like
Mm-hmm.
that. We always suggest that you write your answers in a notebook because when
Yeah.
you go through it again, most of the time your answers and
You're
your
gonna
thoughts may be a
change.
little bit different.
Right.
Sure.
It's good for big groups. If you're going to have maybe 6 or 7 couples to get together and you just want to have a book to follow and some stuff, it's good for that. And I always say this book surprises me because when we go through it, every time we go through it with a different group of people, it's
Mhm.
always different and it's like it's
Yeah.
brand new. And
Yeah.
sometimes I'll read stuff in there. I was like, oh wow, that was good. Did you
Yeah.
write that?
Did you?
Yeah. Yeah. What I find fascinating is that even though we're in different parts of the country, and even though we have different experiences,
Hmm.
a lot of the stuff you guys have been talking about is exactly, we use different terminology, but it's the same thing. We just
Yeah.
talked
Yes.
this at the church earlier today. Um, we're talking about the fact that you're not done with your learning and growing in your marriage. I don't care how long you've been married; doesn't matter. It's a continual process until you die, right?
Yes.
So a lot
Absolutely.
of couples think, well, I'm married now, and life is kind of okay, so that's it. And no.
Yeah.
No.
And nor does it mean just because you've been married for a long length of time that your marriage is is as optimal as it could be.
True.
Mm-hmm.
Very true.
Tell customers that if your marriage right now rates a 5, then you need to push it and move toward a 6. And if you're at a 10, then you need to reach for an
Oh,
11.
you think you're
And
That's
at
then come
right.
10.
help us.
That's right.
Exactly. That is exactly what we say a lot of times. Like, whatever space you're in, or level you're in your marriage. Said
Yep.
if all 8 cylinders are firing off and you're a 10, then you probably need to be reaching back and teaching some couples and mentoring
Yeah,
some
Right.
couples as well.
exactly.
There's always room, and there's always room for you to learn and reboot yourself and get better and take in more knowledge. I have yet to go to a marriage retreat where I did not take away something. And we've
Sure.
been doing this for over 25, 26 years. And
Right.
we still take away things, and we still write, and we still do the homework.
Hey guys, thank you so much for coming on the show. I apologize to everyone for the technical challenges we had, but we're going to have you guys back because there's a wealth of information you guys have, and we want to make sure our audience has access to all of that and then some. Um, would they go to your website? Will they get a lot of? Well, I know they'll get the getaway information. Will they also get access to the book and they can get it from there?
The book is not on there. The book you can find on Amazon.
Amazon.
Reboot
Okay.
Your Marriage, and then
But
you can
guess what? This
put
is
in
a
our
good
name.
way for us to put it on the website. Okay?
There you go. Just put a quick link on there that says book
Yes.
And
and
I'll
link it over
also
to.
add a link where we have another little website page for the getaway, and you can actually go through there, look at some pictures. There's frequently asked questions and things like that. So we'll
Awesome.
add that link to the website as well, so you can click
Awesome.
on and go over there.
All right. Very good.
Thank you
Very
for
good.
having us.
Absolutely.
Thank you. We appreciate
Absolutely.
you for being with us today.
Hey, folks, you've been watching I Am Love Builder Show with Casper and Cheryl. We, like these awesome guests, we believe that if you get your act together and your spouse gets their act together, you guys come together. Now you have something powerful.
Amen.
Because a lot of times individually, we're a mess, but we got to get that fixed first and then come together. And our MVP program does that. You can get information about that on our website, IamLoveBuilders.com. You can access to our app as well on IamLoveBuilders.com. And we will check you guys out on the next show as soon as I can. There we go. We'll see you guys on the next show. Bye-bye.
Thanks for having us.